Alright, it is mid-morning on day 14 in Quest for Glory 2. The best game ever made. Anyway, I'm going to show that you can in fact walk to Rasier in less than a day, and I'm going to turn off my Twitch stream because it is echoing into my audio. Alright, so, day 14, I just beat the water elemental. I've sucked the blue frog, as it were, because I don't want to die on this trip. Mostly the biggest threat is, other than running out of water, is running out of stamina or just getting killed by random encounters. So, I have 5 full water skins and very powerful spells, and hopefully that'll get us there. I did this previously on day 3, but I'd sucked the blue frog there too. So, to get to Rasier, you're going to walk left forever, pretty much. That is to say, east. If you looked at the map that came with the game, then you will see there is a range of mountains in between Shapir and Rasier. That doesn't exist in this. It's just one big rectangle where we walked left for a long time, and I'm going to crank the game speed to make it go faster. Thing to remember is not much can happen when you get to Rasier, but hey, it's useful to see. This will actually be my second time in this save file going to Rasier. I'm going to continue to beat up things I run into and just get there. I'm actually going to mute my mic because it's going to pick up all the keyboard noise. You will get warnings about being thirsty or the sun of the desert ruining your day. But as long as you keep your stuff steady, keeping your source alive, or keeping your source available to you is really important in terms of leaving, because you don't want to make the same trip in reverse. No one does. Although I guess you could theoretically walk across to the other mountain range and head back to Shapir the old-fashioned way on a different mountain range. You'd run into Julinar in the way, I believe. Or Julinar or the Griffin? I can't remember. I'm not a Quest for Glory expert. I just pretend to be one on the internet. Anyway, other than walking, you'll note that this is the EGA version, and so this does work in the original. In the remake, it works as well. My main source of information on the direction you have to go actually comes from the AGD forums. They said that this was the way to go, and I believed them, as opposed to a lot of the walkthroughs that said, oh, there's a mountain ridge in the way, go around it. Well, you can't. There's no around. The desert's just a rectangle. I am curious to know if every desert scene is its own programmed room, or if they programmed them, they generated rooms, or it just calls code. I don't know enough about how SEI works. I think I'll ask that in the Quest for Glory Discord, the Quest for Glory speedrunning Discord. Incidentally, if you have not watched Quest for Glory speedruns, I would highly recommend checking out people like Mr. P.R. Miller, iCrow, or just Crow. I think he's got some eyes around it. David TKI. There's another runner, and I don't want to mispronounce their name, but I want to plug them, so maybe I'll put them in the description of their video. They're the person who dresses up like an Egyptian a lot. They're pretty cool. Although I think they need to play Persona 4. Beyond that, it is not exciting to walk to the left forever. But at least I can beat all the combats. You can see what a statistically maxed magic user can do. And away we go. I've been using the dagger to kill these things, but I probably shouldn't, because MP is 1 and way more high reserve than stamina is. And 2, I have mana pills and I don't have stamina pills. Just didn't buy any. Still mid-morning, so we've got a ways to go. The other reason I'm doing this again, I did this on my own previously, is I wanted to see where in the game time it is when you get to Rasier. When I did this last time, I just hit go home afterwards and then checked the in-day time. But I'm not sure if your Thesaurus going home on his own fills game time or not. So I'm not sure if that was a fair test. So I left at mid-morning on day 14. And it's obvious we're going to get there before nightfall. I'm pretty sure we can get there before nightfall, because I left at mid-morning last time. But ultimately what we're trying to figure out is exactly how long this takes in terms of in-game time. Shit, I haven't checked my... Sorry for the profanity for those not expecting it, but I didn't check the time scale, so we're just on normal. I know a lot of people run on fastest, so maybe this isn't the best example of how long it'll take there to get in a day. I'm not going to change it now. But the important thing is, I wanted to put a video on the internet showing this could be done. A lot of people have discussed it. A lot of people have mentioned how to do it. A lot of people have mentioned how to do it wrong. And I'm prioritizing just showing simply what happens and babbling on about a game I love. I like the VGA version fine. It is a little bit more cumbersome to get to run in Linux, which is what I'm running in. I'm on 2204. And also, I have arthritis, so I'm not really great with the mouse movements. Plus, I don't like the simplified maps. I know you can turn the simplified maps off, but I don't. I know it's big for the speedrun, but I like the maps. I like getting lost in the city. I like how dark it feels. It makes it feel cool in the desert, even though it's probably stifling hot in those hallways. So, I'm going to mute my mic again, because I need water. So when I first did this, I found almost every encounter was a giant scorpion, and I think that might have just been luck of the draw. I remember it took me quite some time to see my first brigand. Like, I feel like I was almost at Rasier by the time I saw brigands. Or maybe it's a time of day or experience level thing, because I had already sucked the blue frog at that point, but I was only on day 3, so I hadn't done a lot of the puzzles in the games. And I remember in one of the RPG Limit Break or GDQ speedruns, David TKI mentioning that near Rasier you can only encounter pterosauruses and brigands and not scorpions. So maybe that has as much to do with my experience or quests completed. It's probably experience. Give me the easiest thing so I can farm money off of it, and give me the pterosaurus because I'm so strong, none of these enemies pose a threat. The pterosaurus is a little bit annoying because as far as I know, it's the only one that can interrupt your casting. And the scorpion's annoying because if you're not paying attention, it'll just one-shot you. Like, this is absolutely something you can step away from and just run back to your desk when you hear the combat start if you're at high levels like I am. I can press plus a few more times, right? Maybe. When I did this initially, it took me a while to crank up the game speed. I was on normal for a while, and then I realized I have some semblance of a life. Considering I'm taking the legendary 1-week caravan journey. If you're wondering why I'm not looting the corpses, that's why. If you have never played the Quest for Glory series, I highly recommend it. You can walk in the desert. It's a really meaningful skill. I'm actually basing a Dungeons & Dragons campaign off of Quest for Glory 1 because I know none of my players are ever going to play it. If you haven't joined the Quest for Glory subreddit on Reddit, I'd highly recommend you join. I'm a little bit biased because I founded it. Also, if in early 2000-2001 you were on a message board called Octarino's Oasis, please feel free to reach out to me because it's totally gone from the internet and I kind of miss my Quest for Glory buddies from there. Curious if any of them are still in the community. I think my name was Picaporion on that site. I suppose the ray that I am everywhere else. Yeah, as it turns out, if you've been on the internet since 1996, you collect a few screen names. Of course, when you're 8, you don't really spell screen names very well either. Yes, the classic Cheetah with one E. That was my first screen name. The funniest thing about cheating your stats up is practice combat against Uhura, honestly. Because you attack twice and you're like, oh, okay, I'm good. Maybe you'll give me a lesson soon. It's like, but I have a dagger. It's just one of those ways the stats don't really translate to the displayed image or who people are. I mean, yeah, it's good that you use your hero strength to be strong, but it makes the fight look really funny. It's like, oh, I guess I'm just done 10 seconds later. Reminds me, can the wizard fight Ricky? Oh, here we are. We're in Rasier. I don't have to keep coming up with things to talk about. City of Rasier is dark with despair. Wait a minute. So, you don't have a visa. So this is what happens if you were to drop your visa outside as well. We don't take Diners Club here. That would probably be a better joke if Diners Club was ever a thing in Canada in 2022. Okay, so, one thing is different, because I've done this already on this save. The first time you come back out here to your Saurus, there is a display that appears that says, hey, this Saurus is a mighty beast, it's super loyal, it waited by the entrance. I've already done that, because I walked Rasier on day 3. So, you don't see that again. Okay, it's only midday, so if I go home now, that's going to fill the rest of the day. Go home. Wait a minute. Holy crap. Oh my god, am I screwed? Okay, he's back to Shapir now. That's better. Holy, that scared me. I really didn't want to walk back. But anyway, we're back to Shapir. It's the middle of day 14. And we're good. Thank you for tuning in to this proof of concept.